let's move on to something maybe a little different, So right now, my influences right now is guys like Scott Pellegrom, Mark Juliana, Jojo Mayer, Benny Greb. These are all guys that are thinking really musically.
Right.
And musicality in drumming is I'm looking for people that play musically and think more of like orchestrating stuff on a drum set rather than just beats. So I think that's pretty cool. Like back in the day, like Steve Gadd for sure.
Right.
Vinny Colaiuta was huge. Manu Katché was huge. Like Robbie Robertson, Somewhere Down the Crazy River Groove was. I remember as a kid listening to that when it was popular. I was born in '85, so that came out in like '88 or '87.
Right.
So I was, when it was a popular song, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I remember loving that groove. That was like, if I can think of an earliest groove that like stuck with me over the years, and really when I look at my playing style, that was the thing that impregnated me.
Right.
With this madness for drumming.
Now, do you try to be diverse, or do you have like a narrow, a specific set of training?
So, like my training, like how?
Well, meaning like, are you train on jazz and are like playing diverse? But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
so I would say for me, I really like melody and groove. Those are the two components of playing that I really like. I like forming melodies with just kick hats and snare. I like to also sort of tonally get as much out of a single instrument as I can. If I just played the snare drum the same way every time, there's so many, and then, feel like I have to add a secondary snare drum to get a different sound.
Right.
I want to make sure that I get as many different sounds out of that one drum. I think playing hand drums teaches us that, and having stripped down kits. Like, if you're at home and you're listening and you have your drum set and you have an 8-piece drum set with doobly bass and like you got 15 cymbals, try just playing your kick hats and snare and see what comes up. See what's, you'll find yourself limited. And I think limitation is sort of what makes us better.
Right.
Limitation is really, really important. So with my playing style, I guess the way I try to play, it's a matter of melody, repetition, groove. I like to also just completely go bonkers and, play with almost no real train of thought sometimes.
Right.
Like doing the Kim Lumberg thing, man, like that's like a whole other thing. I don't play a groove in that really at all. Sometimes I will. Like I'll play, you were mentioning jazz. I'm not a jazz drummer. I'm definitely not a jazz drummer. But
one of the first things that came to mind.
Yeah.
Because some people are classically trained.
See, and I'm not. I'm like a total homebrew sort of dude. I love jazz music, and I think there's a lot of jazz character, I guess, in my playing. Like the way I sort of express myself is from that school of thought.
Right.
But I don't have jazz hands. I don't have the technique yet. I would like to be able to play jazz fluently, but that's sort of like a historian's perspective on music, and I kind of want to be what's going on now.
Right.
Because, like, to learn jazz and to be a jazz drummer, you have to be a historian as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because, there's a right and wrong way to play it. If I were to say I'm a jazz drummer and then play a bop beat, I get laughed off the stage because, at the end of the day, I don't really understand jazz history. Really. I mean, I know it a bit, but I'm not by any means a scholar.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't want to promote myself as something I'm not. I'm definitely my own player. And I think, we sort of take influences from a bunch of sources.
Right.
And then we create this quilt, with all of that. We pull something from here and something from there. And I think as long as we continue searching for new sounds and new ideas from different sources, that's how we really evolve as players. And that's sort of my approach to it, is I'm always looking for new types of players, which is why the Scott Pellegrom thing, for example, is really intriguing, because I listen to him play on the Drumeo thing, and I'm like, wow. Like, he takes brushes, sort of these more plastic or rubbery noodly brushes. They're not like wire brushes, but he plays the air. He takes those and he goes, shh, and plays the air. And, like, it creates a rhythm. And it's like, yeah, man. Play the air, that's cool. And it sounds amazing. Like, there's no anything you can buy that sounds anything like that. I mean, that's a free thing. All you need is, the proper tool, like the stick, the brush, and you're happening. So like, yeah, influences right now, they're coming from all over the place, man. I'm just really immersed in the culture, like listening to as much drummers talk and like watching drummers and sort of grabbing ideas,
right,
lifting what I think is cool and sort of working on it at home slowly and trying to work it into my style somehow.
Right on, man. So last question is, with this whole experience so far, what do you think you've pulled out of it?
Well, what I pulled out of it is I honestly can't get over how fast it's going. Like, I'm starting to, like, it's getting, I'm really eager to work on my brand. I have a logo now that's being produced right now, and I should have that by, the end of next week. That'll be in use. I have a lot of stuff lined up, and it's all going to kind of coincide with the clinic. It's going to coincide with, sort of this brand that I'm going to try to work out.
Right.
That's going to be built around the logo. I think at this point, I'm really happy that I did this, and it's been a really interesting experience. It's brought me to different places that I didn't think I'd be, or talking to certain people I didn't think I'd get to talk to. And if it's exciting like this already, I just can't wait to see where it will end up, because I think what I'm working on now is I feel like packaging and marketing is like the most important thing,
right,
in any kind of distribution of media or product or anything that you can sell, right?
Oh, for sure.
Right, so like, I'm trying to create like a brand that's accessible and sort of has like this nice packaging to it. That's me too,
right.
That's sort of an expression of sort of the way I am and the way that I like I like things,
Oh yeah.
So it's neat having that kind of control, because I'm I make rapid fire decisions. It's I think of something and I just go with it. If it feels right, I do it. And I like not feeling too restricted, because a lot of this stuff, really, I don't have to go far to do it. It's just a matter of making some contacts and getting some things lined up. And then the odd time, I go out, and that's when, I'll do an interview like this one, or talk to some other people, and like I said, where it's going. And I built some good relationships that's going to help, bridge those gaps, and make a lot of cool things possible. And then on the side, I'm just always working at my own playing. I'm always trying to be better at doing that, and I feel like I'm getting there. Like it's going in the direction at the pace that I'm comfortable with, and I think is working for me. So very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm really pleased with how things are going so far.
All right on, man. Well, It was good to have you back. Good to talk to you. It's been a while, so you're welcome back anytime. So you can check out his blog at www.drumgab.com, and his podcast is Drumgab. What is it listed under?
It's under Spreaker. I think it's just Drumgab.
Okay,
it's Drumgab. Yeah,
okay.
That's Spreaker.
I wasn't sure if there's a.
And then my Instagram is Drumgab1.
Right on. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what project coming up in the next little bit.
Yeah.
But thanks for being on the show, and I've learned quite a bit about drums tonight that I never knew, and I never quite know a whole lot either. So I'll just get that out of the way. But until next time, we'll be tomorrow night for New Music Saturday, and our special co-host will be Mike G. Then we'll talk to you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Till then, Bones out, and a big thank you to Seamus.
Thank you, man. That was awesome.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, guys. Bones out.
Cheers.